What's up, pals and gals? It's your boy, the Wolf Gamer 25, and we are back. That's right, I would very much like to be the first to welcome you back. That's right, back to another riveting segment of Figure Friday. Oh, you know, that special time of the week when time to talk about all things figure, merch, memorabilia, Funko. You better of all kinds. And you better believe that it's gonna. Oh my goodness! Forgive me, folks. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit excited about tonight's episode because of what we're introducing tonight. One of them in particular, I have been waiting a very long time to get my hands on. I'm happy to say that. It is now in my possession, and I'm going to be sharing it with you with a load of information about said character. But before the holiest moment, as you know, we here at the Wolfpack, we very much value each other. We take care of ourselves. We don't put each other down. We pick each other up, okay? But as you guys know, before every episode, before the holy moments, please, if you haven't already, do yourself a favor. Go grab yourself something to eat if you haven't eaten already. Maybe a snack or two, or if you're thirsty, please grab yourself a water, some of your favorite drink, a soda if you want. Because as you know, you gotta stay hydrated, take care of yourself. I'll give you guys a few minutes, of course, if you will. As you know, we here start at a certain time. I know it's right there, and I'm looking right at it. I know it's the 3-minute marker when we do start. I know it's gonna be posted down here, but when you're on live, your timer's right there. You know, so yeah, please help yourself, and I'll be here waiting whenever you decide to come back. This gives me a chance to answer some fan mail. Like I have fans. Just kidding. I have fans, and I love them. That's interesting. But also I gotta gush a little bit, you know, because in my last stream, I did talk about how I did procure the Last of Us 2 video game, and shout out to them and congratulations, because as I read today, they actually sold over 4 million copies worldwide, and they're also the fastest selling game in the world right now, so shout out to them for that. Great job, Naughty Dog. You know, hey, great job, Last of Us. You guys deserve it. Pardon me. But before we start this episode, y'all, I also want to apologize real quick, because I actually procrastinated and slacked off too much, and I kind of messed up the flow of my uploading consistently a little bit, because normally what I like to do is I like to upload at least 5 episodes, or do 5 episodes each of figure reviews, and then do 1 gameplay video. But I procrastinated on that. I'm still working on it, trying to pull the gameplay footage together. But it is going to be finished. It is going to be uploaded. I do hope you guys can forgive me. It just happened, and I couldn't help it. But anyways, as you can see, we have hit the 3-minute marker. So why don't we just get into the little shindig of tonight? And now that you're back, I do hope that you're relaxing. I do hope that you have breathed today, you know, relaxed. So please, I invite you to take one last deep breath, relax, let all the negativity just flow away. Please kick your feet up, because as you know, it is just you, me, and the merchandise of tonight. So, I do hope that you're ready, because tonight, as I said, I'm a little bit excited because of what I'm going to be bringing. And for today's review, we will be taking a trip into 2 different worlds. However, it's going to be the world of Marvel, but the other world we're going to be visiting is mainly consisting of both like movies, TV shows, comics, and gaming all in one section. But it's all going to be for that one character that I'm going to be introducing, so that way there's no confusion. Because this guy that I will introduce, he's the finale. You know, just calm yourselves down. because he's blazed a trail of history, and I want to be able to share that with you guys for the finale. But as you know, both of these characters I'm going to be introducing tonight, they're very well known in both of their universes. Extremely powerful. They have a lot of abilities, of course, that make them very well known. But I thought that we'll go ahead and get started, folks. So let me take one last swig here. Yeah. Oh. Pardon me, folks. Sorry about that. So, yeah. First up, I thought we could go ahead and head into the Marvel Universe today. As today, we are going to bring up a very well-known and powerful gal, and she's very well known for her prowess and her hidden talents, of course, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's made so much. How can I put this? She's given so much emotion into the team that she's on. She did, however, have a lot of lovers' quarrels, because she always felt like she was in a triangle when it came down to it. But she also, one thing that sticks out about her is that she always has a lot on her mind. Now, the reason I say that is because this particular lady will always either speak her mind, or she'll speak her thoughts, or maybe she might just read yours. So, please, help me welcome, for the first time, ladies and gents, I give you Jean Grey. That's right, folks. But if you now, as I said before, this is Jean Grey, but this is not the kind-hearted telepath that we've all come to know in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No. This telepathic Titan is coming straight out of the Age of Apocalypse, because that's basically what this figure is. It is the Age of Apocalypse version of Jean Grey, which, of course, being an alternate version of her, because yes, well known in the world of Marvel Cinematic world, or even DC world, or even anything like that, there's always alternate realities, alternate versions of each and every individual character. So why don't we just get her out of there, so that way I can give you guys a little history about her. Now, being that this is the Age of Apocalypse version of her, she does come with some accessories that help build what I call the Build-A-Figure, or the Master Build, if you will, because it's she is part of another character, but I'm not really interested in that. The guy, he doesn't look all that interesting to me. But that's just me, folks. That's just me. Sit right there. Stop looking at me like that, please. Thank you. In a way, that guy kind of reminds me of something. But we'll talk about that in just a second, folks. Let me just... No, don't read my mind. You don't want to go in there. You really don't want to go in there, Jean. Really. You don't know what you'll find in there. But, yeah. Here she is, folks. The Age of Apocalypse, Jean Grey. Don't worry. I told her not to read anybody's mind. Come on, camera. Focus for me. Come on. Come on. Maybe if I get a little closer. There we go. Perfect. Now, as I said, this is not her normal X-Men uniform that you're, accustomed to. As you can see, she's rocking a much more sort of, how can I put this, a more badass look, if you will. And of course, she's got a little war paint right here going on, which of course I noticed that. And her hair is actually shorter. And to me, it's not so much the fact that she looks, different in the way that she's got right now, because I really think she looks good like this. I think she looks better with short hair, folks. But that's just me. Yeah, okay. But yeah, a little history about Miss Jean here is the fact that being that this is actually an alternate version of Jean, was the fact that she was still the first and one of the founding members to be introduced into the X-Men team. Oh, I suddenly just got really thirsty. That's really weird. Did that ever happen to y'all? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. But yeah. As I said, she is still to be one of the founding key members of the X-Men team, because Like her other teammates, Cyclops and Storm, they were also the first to be taken under Charles Xavier, aka Professor X's wing. However, in this version, in the alternate universe of her, it was actually when, at a very young age, when her parents had actually started to kind of feel like she was. I mean, she was different right from the get go, but it's the fact that they just kind of noticed that something was off about her, that they did seek out help. However, in doing so, and they felt like they didn't have anywhere else to turn. They ended up turning to the one person that you would never think that anybody would contact. However, they didn't know at the time, but it was actually Magneto, who basically looked to train mutants in order to use their powers or abilities, if you will. But the thing is that he didn't want to use them to just combat other mutants who basically threatened his team or even other people that were close to him. He was actually going to try to use them on humans as well. But the thing about her is that due to the lack of, telepathic teachers, if you will, she was really unable to block out the inner thoughts of her teammates. But it was only the bad thoughts, like the wants, the needs, the pain, the sorrow, if you will, that was lurking down in their minds. But the thing is that was lurking down in their minds. But the thing is that there was one voice in particular that kind of, in an inner voice that was sort of screaming out the fact that, hey, I'm probably the most traumatic person here. I really wish that there was somebody who understood me. But now, I never really until I actually gained a little bit of information today. And as it turns out, that was actually the mysterious Weapon X, aka Logan, aka Wolverine. But ironically, it was because of that pain that she actually ended up falling for him, falling in love with him. And in the world of, in the age of apocalypse, most people would think that wouldn't happen. But hey, this is a different age we're talking about here, folks. This isn't your standard Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, it is. It's just it's different, But she didn't really come with a lot of accessories, which kind of bums me out. But I mean, it's okay because due to the fact that, like I said, this outfit that she's rocking is just it's completely awesome, really. And for those of you guys who didn't know, like I said, she is a telepath. Such abilities include, mind reading. She has telekinetic abilities, and to most people well known to her, she actually has the inner power called the Phoenix, which of course is, if I remember right, it's an uncontrollable, not emotion, if you will, but sort of a power source for her to tap into that makes her extremely dangerous, but at the same time, an extremely great ally. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I know, Gene. Let me give you guys one last look at her, and we'll get into some fun facts about her. And like I said, I love the fact that she's got that war paint blue on her face right there. I think it adds nice character to the detail. And as you can see, fully posable, and that's a good thing because I really love it when the figures that I get are fully posable, because that way when I take pictures of them, I can put them in any kind of way that I like, or even if that makes the picture look good. Now, fun facts about this particular lady here. Due to the fact that, I do apologize, folks, for repeating, but due to the fact that this is the age of apocalypse we're talking about, with every alternate universe, there's always alternate possibilities. However, in this one, it's the fact that the Scott Summers that we'd all known growing up for a while was actually called pre-late Scott Summers. Now, the reason for that is because at a young age, his Scott and his brother were actually somehow, some way adopted by Mr. Sinister, and in doing so, a strand that actually, my apologies, let me run that back. There was actually a moment in time where Jean was captured by Mr. Sinister, and in doing so, a strand of her DNA, which was mixed with prelate Scott Summers, was actually combined together to make Nate Gray. He was another equally powerful mutant who could go toe to toe with Apocalypse even if he wanted to. That to me, it screams a lot because that's two heavy hitting DNA codes that come together in order to form just an amazing, badass mutant. However, I didn't really get a chance to read much on Nate, mainly because I wanted to concentrate on Jean, but that's a lot of things that I want to be able to read. I want to read more into it, be able to share with you guys, really. But hey, it just looks awesome. And there was also a time where Jean and Weapon X, Logan, actually became operatives, or mutant operatives, if you will, of the Human High Council. And basically, that's just one to which it's a council of humans, but like they kind of feel like they're above everyone else, if you will. And these two were assigned to protect them. Now, I think the reason for that was mainly because they were considered to be mutant lovers, and back in the time of that day, mutants, they were frowned upon. They didn't really feel like, most people felt like they didn't belong in society. But hey, it's a good thing, because if it wasn't for that, she wouldn't really be that well known today. And one more small fact about the Age of Apocalypse comic book is the fact that it's actually a crossover comic book that was first found in the year 1995, if you will. And it's mostly been used as a part of the X-Men franchise, if you will. And I know it seems like it's different, but I mean, it doesn't really short on anything less. There's always a bunch of action. My apologies. There's still no, but I mean, it doesn't really short on anything less. There's always a bunch of action. My apologies. There's still no shortage of action, adventure. I'm pretty sure there's maybe some heartbreak in there, maybe a little gore, and of course, the relationship thing going on with Jean and Weapon X, which to me, I kind of felt like, Jean and Logan should have been together, but that's just me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, folks. Just do me a favor, sit right over there for me, Jean. Would you? Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Whew. Okay, folks. Let me just move these boxes over here. Thank you. Oh, plastic. Just chill right there for me. Thank you kindly. Okay, now, as I said, folks, at some of the beginnings of my streams, I've actually been, since this whole COVID-19 thing, I've only been able to limit myself to maybe one or two figures, but I mean, I'm still trying to get my hands on them. I've got plenty on order, they're just slow to get here, but I'm still going to give you guys as much as I can. Try to keep this channel open, and just to let you guys know, this is a place for you guys to relax and be yourselves, and just know that you can find, I hope you find solace here, and just know that you are always welcome on this channel. But it's actually time for the finale, and I'm about to gush over this one, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. But next up, we're going to shift gears here, folks. We're going to shift gears as we talk about a character who, as I said, has had numerous appraisals, appearances. He's had many comic books made about him. He did have one movie. He did have animated series. He did have video games galore. And of course, he was recently in one of my favorite video games, which we're going to get into that right now. And he, as I said, what seemed like he carved what looked like a path of destruction and chaos in the beginning, but in the end, he knew what needed to be done, even though he was betrayed, killed, and he basically had one hell of a reawakening. And now there's a reason I say that, so please. Now, before we introduce this character to the Wolfpack family, I just want to acknowledge the fact that this guy is a part of IGN's top 100 greatest comic book characters, which is also sitting at number 36 on said list. This character, he did first appear in issue number one of his comic book, which was actually, it used to be human until the time he had to, forgive me if I butcher this joke, folks, you know, he used to be human. However, there was one moment in time where, as I said, he was killed, betrayed, and sent to a one hell of a reawakening process. As, ladies and gents, he had to respawn. That's right, folks. I have got it. The Mortal Kombat Spawn figure. This is the McFarlane version, and let me tell you, he looks so epic, and I'm happy to have him aboard. But we're not just gonna gush over the figure, folks, because there's a lot of history around this character, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. But before I do that, why don't we just get him out of his plastic prison, huh, folks? And I'm very happy to say that he is going to be joining the rest of the Mortal Kombat figures that I have in helping me to bring to life the first ever segments of figure combat. Because recently, I've actually thought about getting into stop motion videos because I do know that those are still popular, still going on. And as you know, I'm actually very good with that sort of thing. Woo wee! Dang, he looks nice. I ain't gonna lie. Let me just get your blade out of there. Wow, that looks badass. Okay. Uh-oh. This cape. Oh, wait. Don't worry. Let me... Hold on. Just relax. Take a breath. Go. Come on. Yes. Break from your plastic prison. Break out of there. Yes, do the thing. I will do the thing with the figures and the pictures and the stop motions and things. Which I'll try my best to get those up on my Instagram, and if at all possible, I might try to upload them here on my channel. Come on out there. You can make it. Oh no. You're still being held back by plastic containment. Woo, get out of there. Yeah, kick your way out of there. There you go. I do apologize about the noise, folks. Come on out of there. Beautiful. Woo. Hold on. Let me fix that. Just relax. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Here he is, folks. That's right, folks. As I said, Albert Francis Simmons. Hailing from Detroit, born... Let me tell you something, folks. The upbringing of this guy was actually pretty funny. There you go. Let me get y'all one good look at him, folks. One good look at him. Now, as I said, basically born to a traveling salesman, and are you ready for this? A devil worshiper. That's right, folks. Now, I didn't read too much into that because I kind of felt that I wasn't really sure which one was the devil worshiper, which one was the traveling salesman. However, I kind of had an idea, but I didn't want to spawn all that, you know. I said a spawn joke. Sorry. Okay, he did come with one accessory and a platform. Ooh, dang. You know, I ain't gonna lie. That's a nice background. A little nice black piece of cardboard that they sent him. I ain't gonna lie. I like the lime green. Woo. Oh, sorry. Let me just put that right there. Thank you very much. Just chill right there. Okay. Being that this is Mr. Simmons' first time on the Wolfpack, we're gonna gush all kinds of history about him, and let me tell you, I'm sorry if I repeated myself, folks. It's just looking at this figure, I've been waiting for it for a while now, and due to the fact that I did play him recently, and I have gameplay for him, I'm actually extremely excited to have him here. Being he is a highly intelligent and physically capable, strong lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Marine Corps. Oh man, I'm just taken by this figure. He looks awesome. He just looks so good. Forgive me, folks. Forgive me. Let me get a swig this week here. Okay. So where was I? Later, after he served his time in the Marine Corps, he actually joined up with the U.S. Secret Service and becoming a highly decorated member in the ranks of the U.S. Secret Service, which actually led him to join what was called an umbrella agency. No, not the Umbrella Corporation, please. I mean, I really don't think this guy would be caught dead in the Resident Evil series because I mean there wouldn't really be much zombies for him to deal with. I mean because there wouldn't be anything left. You know, it actually made him into a it actually molded him, trained him into a highly capable assassin led by the director who was known as Jason Wynn. Now, however, during one of his last missions before Simmons was going to retire from the world of the Umbrella Corp, there was an instant where he was on his last mission and he was actually murdered by one of his close friends and partners, Bruce Stinson, who was also called, I believe his name was either, dang, I can't remember what his code name was. I think it was Chapel. I really can't remember for the life of me, folks. I'm sorry, but he would he was basically there to destroy what was known as a biochemical lab. But in doing so, that was when his friend, who was influenced by Director Wynn and basically ordered to carry out the deed, and it was the fact that when he died, when he was killed, he was actually sent to hell. Now, I apologize if that word is not allowed on YouTube. I do apologize, folks. It's just woof. But after hitting rock bottom in the depths of hell, he actually ran into the devil known as Malbolgia. Now, there was one deal, however, that he had to agree to in order to see his wife and daughter, Wanda and Cyan. Now, in order for him to do so, he had to serve Malbolgia as his HellSpawn, carrying out his missions, destroying his enemies. And I mean, there was even a moment in the comic book history where he actually tried to destroy God. And I mean, wow. I mean, just one HellSpawn tries to destroy God. That is truly a force to be reckoned with. Oh, man. But he did come with one accessory, and I'm extremely taken by this. This is his Hell Sword. I love the fact that they gave it the little symbol, his symbol right there in the middle. I don't understand why people mistake that for Deadpool, because it's not. And don't worry, folks. I ain't gonna hurt nobody with this. I'm actually worried about hurting myself. Hold on to that for me, would you, Al? I say Al, because, Al Simmons. But some more history about this character here, as we're going to move a little bit away from that history section, but we're going to get into the other cameo section, if you will, because he has made several other cameos. His debut, however, was in the animation era, which of course was in the HBO Todd McFarlane Spawn series, which of course was voiced by Keith David back in the 1990s, and it actually won 2 Emmys. That's really good, honestly, for an animated show. And there was actually a film back in 1997, which was a film adaptation featuring Michael Jai White, who played Spawn. And I watched that movie several times. I think it's a good movie, really. Michael Jai White, he knows how to play characters. It was a great movie, plenty of action, a lot of drama. And the portrayal was just spot on to me, but that's just me, But he also has had a number of cameos in video games too, but he also had video games of his own. His first major video game appearance was actually on the SNES back in 1995, which was Todd McFarlane's Spawn, the video game. I know it seems kind of plain, but that's Todd McFarlane had done a lot for this character because he was his character. And fun fact about that is the fact that no, you know what? Save the fun facts. Save the fun facts for last. Trust me, it's gonna be worth it. He actually also appeared in Soul Calibur 2. However, he was voiced by Akio Otsuka. Forgive me if I butcher that name, folks. I'm not good with other names. Forgive me. And recently, as I said, he's one of the newest DLC members to step into the arena of Mortal Kombat 11. And what's cool about him is the fact that the voice actor was reprised as Keith David. And that to me it screams just ingenuity and just awesomeness at its finest. Because I've seen what Keith David's work looks like, and he was made to voice and play Spawn in animation or even voice acting, because he does so well with him. Oh my goodness. I just can't get over this figure. He looks so awesome. Like, I know you're looking at me, Al. Just relax, man. Trust me. We're going to get there. Just trust me. We're going to get there. But as I said, we're going to move on to some fun facts about this guy. Spawn has been in numerous crossovers in the comic book world. And believe it or not, they actually include Witchblade. And there was talked about crossover with Batman. However, that didn't really happen. I don't know why. I didn't really be too much into it, but I know it didn't happen, and I'm a little bit disappointed because I kind of felt like those two would just kind of mesh, but at the same time would fall apart. As I said, a fun fact about the creator of Spawn, his character design, his concept, if you will, was actually done by Todd McFarlane at the age of 16. 16! And this guy's concept was created and it blew up all over the world into one of the most well-known superheroes of the world. But also, fun facts about him, he has a huge array of abilities that help him rival any situation whatsoever. They include super strength, agility, even teleportation, necroblasts that come from his fingertips, if you will, his chains. They adapt to his emotions, whether being in trouble or if needing of defense, you know, because there was a funny part in the Spawn film. I don't know if you guys caught it, but there was a time where there was a fight between Michael Jai White and Jason Wynn's bodyguard, the female, where they were fighting one-on-one with the guns and everything, and then she was gonna try to kick him in the, you know, the gonads, and his belt buckle actually jumps out and it catches her right there by the shin, and it digs into her, and it was like no. His suit said no, and even also he even has full regeneration of limbs and organs, folks, and I mean that helps him rival Deadpool and Wolverine at the same time. Oh, and he also breathes fire. You know, it's true. He breathes fire. That's that's just awesome, folks. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the many amazing things about him. But yeah, I'll give you guys one last. Don't worry, he won't use it on you, folks. He just wants you to see it. Come on. There you go. It just looks so good. And of course, as I said, this the cape is another one of his abilities because it has its own powers actually. But it's another one that, you know, protects him, and it gives him other abilities, of course, as of course flight, or flight, levitation. My fault, levitation. But he does come with extreme knowledge of weaponry of any kind. He's not really a mercenary per se, but he does know his weapons. But that, of course, is his military background. And of course, you know, I'll give you guys one last look at Jean. You know, as she's doing, just chilling there, looking extra fine. You know, when her special, I call it the Shakespeare form. You know, to be or not to be, that is the question. But yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream right there, folks. I do hope that you enjoyed this roller coaster of emotions and figures, and I do, if you want, feel free to hit the follow button when it's posted right there, or if you want, feel free to check out this video here, or even this video right here when it is posted. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay awesome. Lávase las manos, por favor. Remember to keep your minds when quarantined. And for those of you guys who are out there, just keep on keeping on and do not give up, okay? And stay zen, huh? Peace.